Scott Shot Media. Today is Tuesday, September 22nd, and this is what is happening on the mountain. Brief overview of what you can expect for today. There is currently one scheduled Caltrans project affecting your commutes. State Route 38 remains closed in addition to that due to the fire. And currently, State Route 330 is closed from Live Oak down to Highland to recover a vehicle that went over the side earlier this morning. That closure, it's been off and on all morning as emergency crews responded, and then they had to wait for a tow truck. So they opened it back up again, but now it is closed for about an hour until they recover that vehicle. So use alternate routes. Weather is going to be great this week. There's no hazardous weather forecasted. We continue at least through today with that onshore flow that's bringing us sort of a good news, bad news. The good news is that it's bringing cooler temperatures and blowing some of the smoke away from us, and it has higher humidity because it is coming in off the ocean. But it does make for some erratic winds, which has definitely been affecting the Bobcat fire. It hasn't affected us this week on the El Dorado. In fact, on the El Dorado, we gained only about 12 acres of new burn over the last 24 hours or so, and we increased the containment to 60% from 59 yesterday. We should expect to see that containment grow pretty good every day. There was 3 crimes reported across the mountain yesterday. Currently, Edison is reporting 4 scheduled outages, which is affecting about 59 customers. And in addition to that, there is still the larger outage in the fire area affecting a little over 1,200 customers. And lastly, 4 new COVID-19 cases reported in the past 48 hours. So that's a brief overview. If you have 10 minutes to spare, we'll go into each one of these in greater detail, starting with traffic update. As I mentioned, the breaking news is State Route 330 is currently closed between Highland and Live Oak. So you'll have to take the 18 down to get to the valley. There was an accident earlier this morning. A box truck went over the side at Dollar Curve, just above the lower passing lane, and same place as the box truck went over the side a few months ago, which unfortunately resulted in a fatality. This accident, fortunately, was a non-injury. However, because it's in a curve, there's no shoulder there. The heavy-duty tow truck is blocking the entire road in order to recover that. So expect that closure. It's let's see, it's about 12:30 now. No, it's 1 o'clock now. So expect that closure to last at least until 2 o'clock, but we will definitely keep you posted on that. Additionally, on the 330 overnight, it's been going on for the past couple of weeks, and through the foreseeable future, you'll have various different interchanges closed to and from the 330 and to and from the 210 overnight as Caltrans does miscellaneous work. And lastly, State Route 38 remains closed from basically Sugarloaf to Yucaipa to Bryant Street. At Bryant Street, if you do live in the repopulated areas north of there, Forest Falls and Mountain Home Village, you will have to show ID. That's all they're letting go up. But the remainder of the 38 is a hard closure for emergency crews. Weather's going to look great through into the weekend. Most of the smoke is blown out of the area. These onshore flows are helping keep the temperatures cooler, especially in the evenings, and keeping the air a little cleaner than it has been over the past few weeks. Highs across the mountain will be in the mid to upper 70s in most places, lows in the 40s and 50s. And we'll expect that those temperatures to remain the same for the foreseeable future. No hazardous weather forecasted. We have no Santa Ana winds in our immediate future, at least through the week. through the next 7 days. Winds will continue to be onshore, and although starting tomorrow, this low pressure system does move out, which will put us back into a typical pattern where we will see offshore flow in the morning and then transitioning with the sundowners to an onshore flow, uh, and but nothing too significant as far as wind speed or gusts. No fires reported on the mountain. We are currently under extreme fire danger on the forest floor. Immediate for the next 7 days, the mountains are under a moderate risk for new fire starts as well as fire spread, which is pretty typical for this time of year. And also typical for this time of year and for the remainder of the year is we are under an elevated or above average risk of fire danger. And of course, that mostly is to coincide with our Santa Ana wind events, which right now we don't see anything in the near future, and we will obviously keep you posted when that changes. No fires reported on the mountain. A couple of smoke checks, a couple of backyard barbecues, but no fires. El Dorado Fire continues to be a stubborn little booger. It's fortunately not taking a lot of acreage. It only grew about 12 acres in the last 24 hours, and the crews were able to bring the containment up to 60%. They're starting to release additional personnel from the fire, let them recuperate, send them even to some other fires, like the Bobcat Fire in the Angeles. Fire has not established north of the 38 in any spot. It has jumped from time to time with a spot fire, but crews quickly knock those down. And you will still see aircraft working this fire until they get it completely contained. Smoke is expected to be, especially tomorrow, as these winds, low pressure system moves out of the area and these winds change from an offshore to an onshore flow in the morning and then into the afternoon. We could expect to see a little bit more smoke activity over the mountains. Partly that's from the El Dorado Fire, partly that is from the Bobcat Fire on the Angeles, and also smoke drifting down south from the Central Valley, and the fires burning up in the Sierra Nevadas. Right now, our air quality is good. Expect that to turn a little bit unhealthy, especially tomorrow. There were just 3 crimes reported in the past 24 hours. 2 of them happened, I believe, at the same address. It's definitely within the same numerics, the 700 block of Arrowhead Villas Road. They were a few hours apart from each other. One was an accidental shooting, which I prefer to call a negligent discharge. And then at the same area, there was a person under the influence. Not sure if that was the same exact person or not. 2 different incident numbers. But that was the activity that you saw in the Arrowhead Villas yesterday or last night. And then over in Big Bear City, somebody's car on Greenway was stolen. Power outages reported by Edison. Currently, there are 4 outages. Cedar Pines Park, Arrowhead Villas, Lake Arrowhead, and Green Valley Lake. They're all pretty small. And power is expected to be returned between 2 and 4 o'clock today for those customers as Edison crews work to improve the infrastructure. Down here in the El Dorado Fire area, there are over 1,200 customers currently without power. Most of them evacuated, but even Forest Falls and Mountain Home Village, you may find yourself at time without power, even if power had been restored. Temporarily as Edison crews work to repair the power lines, the power poles. There was some significant damage caused to the power distribution system in the area there. And there's no word on when that power will be completely restored. It might take a little while. Lastly, COVID-19 updates. We continue on a downward trend. Which is really good. One of our concerns was 10 days after Labor Day weekend, we were anticipating a spike. We have seen some new cases, but certainly nothing like we saw after 4th of July and after Memorial Day. Our numbers are about the same level as they were way back here in May as far as new cases go. How does that look for the county reopening? We are on day 7 now of being in the substantial risk. So we had been in the widespread. As soon as we drop down into the substantial risk, if we remain here for 14 days, so we're halfway there, the state will put us into a lower risk category or lower risk tier, which will allow for the opening of additional businesses, including indoor dining with restrictions, movie theaters with restrictions, and things like that. So we're about halfway there to seeing being able to go back to the movies and eat indoors. There were 4 new cases of COVID-19 reported across the mountain since Monday or since Sunday for the last 2 days. Angeles Oaks remain with two new cases in Big Bear City. Big Bear Lake is holding at 56, 12 cases in Blue Jay, Cedar Glen 7, 1 new case in Crestline, bringing the total to 73, 2 in Fonskin, 7 in Forest Falls, 1 for Green Valley Lake, 1 new case in Lake Arrowhead, bringing the total to 32. Forest Fall remains with 4, 26 in Running Springs, Sugarloaf with 12, and 11 in Twin Peaks. That breaks down to 122 cases in the Bear Valley area, including the 38 corridor, rim communities, 166 cases, and that breaks down to an incident rate of about 0.57%, significantly lower than the county average of 2.4, the state average of 2.0, and this country average of also about 2.0. So that's all I have for you today. Again, this is Scott from Scott Shot Media. Feel free to email me at scott@scottshotmedia.com. Text me. Follow us and like us on what is happening on the mountain if you like these daily updates. And feel free to follow us for breaking news and timely public health and safety topics on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at Scott Shot Media. Have a wonderful rest of your day.